favourites?
I like Harold was good because like each year, like I found that each year it grew and like that, you know, like it wasn't perfect or anything, but each year like people putting it on took on advice from the bands and that and tried to make it better each year. And yeah, that was the last year that was on. I think we played and that was really well done.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good show. Yeah,
Yep.
Black Summit was always good, except
Yeah.
it was very dusty. New gear always comes back dusty or muddy, depending on the
Yeah.
weather.
Are there any particular bands you really enjoy playing with?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite a few. Have to say Think Tank because like we been friends with those guys since, well, definitely since they started. Yeah, and obviously Seraphs as well. They're good friends, and STR. They play with who else? Mere Theory. Yeah. See me. new guys on the scene. Yeah.
Excellent. What are some of your future hopes and dreams for Christian music?
I don't know.
Where would you like to see? I suppose where would you like to see Christians take their music?
Just to keep being in the scene, you know, like just being part of it and stuff, and not trying to be like, I think there's always a temptation to be really separatist from it and start your own little Christian thing, but I think it's really good when Christians just go out and be part of the general music scene. Just be, you know, in the world, just shining light to the world and expressing God in their creative ways. Yeah, so I like, just see some new bands come through and just get out there and give it a go, I reckon.
Because there's just so many. I mean, I guess we're coming from the point of view like we always have been really intertwined with the pubs and everything, and we've seen so many like Christian people and non-Christian people as well there that are lost and hurting and stuff, and like in past years I've seen how some of the Christian bands especially have helped, you know, be a light to them, or it's be good to see that again, and some of the new bands that are coming through, for sure. But it's a pretty dark scene as well, so it's not.
Any advice to Christian bands that go into that scene?
Just have good support, I think. Yeah, good support, like from your friends and family or your church or whatever. If you got good support, people praying for you, and just stay true to what you believe as well. Like whatever. We all have different beliefs within our Christian beliefs, but what you believe to be true, just always search for truth, I think, because it's easy to get swayed from that, especially in the music scene, because there's a lot of carrots out there. So just be careful of what carrots you chase after, I think. Yeah.
That's cool. As you were talking about being the salt and light, you know, into that scene, is there a difference between a Christian and a non-Christian band? Should there be a difference? And if there should be a difference, what should the difference be?
I don't think essentially there should be a difference between a Christian band and a non-Christian band from a musical point of view or anything like that. Obviously from a message point of view, there has to be a lot of the time, I think. But yeah, a Christian band isn't, you know, in the same way that any band's, like, they're not like a particular kind of thing as well. How a Christian band operates is different for each Christian band, I think. But yeah, it's a bit of a, you know, it's a grey one as far as whether or not there should be a difference. And
what comes to mind, I suppose, those scriptures like, you know, being the salt and the light. The Apostle Paul says to go into the world but don't be of the world, and those sort of things as well. Sure. So how do you feel?
So I guess it's like, I mean, musically there might not be any difference because, like, you know, you'll try and do your best, but maybe just your reasons for doing it, your motivations, the way that you act might be different depending on, you know, because obviously, hopefully as a Christian, just as a person, that would be reflected in the way you live. So to a degree, there would possibly be some differences, but yeah, I guess it's like each band is different as well. So
yeah, I mean, I never really felt like that it was appropriate to carry on too much on stage, like as far as like, you know, how good am I kind of thing. Just, I think, yeah, I don't know, always had a humble kind of attitude towards it. Perhaps that's the difference. Yeah, because a lot of bands are there to be idolised, and I think when you're a Christian band, you're not so much there to be idolised yourself, but to point that straight up to God and to shift that focus from you guys to. So that's quite different. I think, and just how your manner and again your motivation for being there in the first place. I think in our lives it's always been a vehicle to meet people and to just build relationships with people as well as being an opportunity, I know, for some people to worship while we're playing or whatever in the songs. But yeah, I think we were just there. That was, yeah.
That's cool.
Just told that we're about to run out of tape. So okay, we're recording again. So if you want to another question.
What does the underground mean to you?
Well,
this is where it all started.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah, I think we played. Our first gig was the first underground gig, so like I guess that's all. You know, your first gig always holds a special spot. I think. So, yeah.
I think this is just such a good opportunity for like anyone and everyone to play.
Yeah.
You know, they just need to, get a band together and stuff, and probably just,
Yeah.
have something together so they can play. But the door's open, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a bit of work being done on the underground just to keep it up and do it up some more, or just bit of maintenance and that kind of thing. I just would love to see just continue to be that. I think it's
Okay. What about your future from here on? What are your plans?
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to just keep writing some music, see what happens, and do a bit of travel and see parts of the world and try and see different music scenes in different parts of the world and see how they're on compared to Adelaide, and see what's the same, what's different, and maybe do something in different scenes somewhere. And yeah, just take a bit of Adelaide and what we've learnt over the years here, out there. See what happens. Yeah. It's a bit all undefined at the moment.
Yeah, it's very vague.
Yeah.
That's right.
But just trust God.
Yeah, that's it. Just quickly jumping back to something. If you have someone, a young kid starting a band, and they're looking towards possibly getting a manager or an agent, some advice? What's some advice?
I think firstly, I'd probably just have a look at, again, why they want a manager and an agent. A lot of the time, it's just a lot of hard work, and you just, like when we started, it was something that, no one believes in what you're doing as much as yourself, so, you're probably the best advocate for it in a lot of ways, because if you try and employ a manager who's got the name and everything and the reputation, then, if you don't, have the push to do it yourself, then they might not as well. They might just do a half job. So,
I think initially when you're starting out, it is like good to see what you've got within the band, what different talents and skills and gifts that you've got in the band, and use them in terms of the management and business side of the band. And once you've sort of established yourself, you can look at management. I think looking at having someone that you trust is quite important. Someone that believes in what you're doing. So they might not necessarily understand it, but they believe in it. And we've worked with some good people in terms of management and
they were
agents.
always there to just help us though, and if we weren't like active ourselves, like they wouldn't take that role of being actively
and
like, looking for the work. Like it's kind of like when we had a booking agent, like we just had another kind of avenue in which we could pursue, so to speak. Like so we just had a few more contacts, but we still had to keep working really hard and pushing along.
So that you wouldn't expect you wouldn't expect a manager or an agent to solve all your problems.
Yeah, and to make a miracle happen.
It's they're there to assist what you are already doing. I think.
So, hope that's answered your question.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's it.
That's.
You got something to say, the young man?
I just thought of one thing.
Yeah.
With all the bands that there are on the scene, how did you go about defining who you were as a band? How did you create your identity?
I think it's just it was just a reflection of who we were as people, as a group. Yeah, and I think that's what we were big on in trying to. Obviously, you got to put on a show and that, but always we try to be an extension of who we are, and be true in our expression as well. And some bands are like, not saying that they aren't an expression of themselves at all, but they might go about it in a different way to what we are. Like I think our personality showed a bit in the band. Yeah.
So was there elements of everyone that was in the band that actually showed through the music, or was it people in particular that took the role of that? Or?
I think towards the people, like when Josh and Suresh were in the band, definitely it was very much as a group. That's where the identity came of the band, and that's how we defined ourselves, I think. Yeah. We each knew our different roles in the band.
So did you see, you obviously saw that develop quite a bit over the years and change as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed as we changed, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to define, because you just you're just trying to do your best, and that kind of flows out, I think.
So what, in a nutshell, what do you think contributed to EDISON being the success that it was?
Probably just, I'd probably just have to say, not that I'm, totally convinced on this, but probably a bit of just us being sincere in what we were doing. And we weren't, looking at a market and going, okay, this is what, we must do to target our market or anything. Like, we were just doing what we loved, and we loved to do it, and we loved being there, and we loved, being involved, like, with the scene and everything. So that, everything about it towards the end, like, it was, it was awesome. So,
I think also, like, just being a little bit different, but not too different.
Because there was a bit
I think Hone was a bit too different.
Yeah.
Whereas EDISON had that little bit something different, but we still were pretty much playing melodic rock that sounded like a few other bands, but had our own little twist.
And like we didn't have like as many fans as like some bands like say Serifs or anything, but the audience that we had were really into it and really passionate about it, and we kind of always knew that we wouldn't ever be a Serifs Cole. We weren't ever going to be that big, so we didn't aspire to be. We just wanted to do our best and what we could do and what we loved. So that's probably what helped us, achieve what we did.
That was a real conscious decision. That was a deliberate decision to change the music for you guys.
Just because that's what we wanted to do musically. Yeah. More than anything. Yeah.
From the Hone to the EDISON. Yeah, we were just getting into different things.
Maturing, I think, as songwriters. Yeah.
In Hone, like, some of the songs were just like, how many musical styles can we fit into this one song?
And
how can we shock the listener?
Yeah, how many times can we change the time signature in a song and that kind of thing, just for the sake of a bit too arty.
We were pretty young as well when we were doing that. Although
I was studying music at the time.
Bands are starting younger now, but we were like just in a very early stage of writing music. So
yeah.
How did you navigate, I suppose, in terms of you got other band members, different influences? How did you keep yourself true and consistent? For
each person, you mean? Yeah. Because, especially in the end, like Suresh was into rock and a lot like different stuff to what we were into. And
but the drumming suited, like, it just made it more...
kind of all worked though together.
Yeah. I think Josh, Matt and I had very similar music tastes and very diverse. Like, you'd go, oh, did you used to listen to this when you were like 17? And I was like, oh, that's my favourite band. Like, you'd all have the same favourite bands when we were like 17 or whatever. And Suresh was a little bit younger than us, but he just, like, I think it just kind of worked. Yeah, like maybe his more rock drumming made it less obscure or something.
Yeah. Mm.
So do you write from? So you've said before that you write basically what's in your hearts, what you're going through, experiencing, and what's happening around you in everyday life. Do you do a lot of deliberate research into the other bands that are on the scene and what's actually how they're writing, how their styles are working?
No, we didn't really do that actually.
Yeah, I think just because like we have a lot of friends who are in bands, like you just know that because it comes up in conversation. So it's not like you go out to research it. It's more like you're just being part of it, and it's just part of life that people around you talking about their songs that they're doing at the time, and so it's more of a organic thing, I think.
Because sometimes, like, I know Rachel would write things that she wouldn't really know what they're on about, and then would work out, like, you know, maybe perhaps weeks or months later that, oh wow, that was really relevant, what I wrote back there to like what's going on now. Like heaps of times that happen, and Josh as well, like when Josh had written stuff as well. So it was very organic and very holistic.
How did you choose your songs? You know, sometimes you write songs and it's like, okay, we've got to pick the best 10. Did you vote on it? How did in the whole group dynamics? How did you work that out?
I think because we were never in a position really like where we had heaps of songs and then cut it back.
Yeah, we had to cut a few out, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, you know, like in Hone we did because we had heaps of crap songs. But in Edison we had less songs, but I think it just depends on how a set flows. So it's dynamic, a dynamic kind of flow in the set, and that's probably how you choose.
Who was the main decision maker?
Probably. I'd write the set. I'd do the set list because I'd spend ages about how's this song going to come out of this song? So a bit of labour over it, but I'd be quickly told if there was any problems. And I was, well, everyone had. I'm sure you told me a few times if you didn't like the way something worked, and it's like I'd come up with something, but I'd be fully open to different ideas. So, if someone said, "Oh, maybe we should do this song instead," it wasn't like a dictatorship or anything like that.
Do you feel that it's important in a band that there is an actual leader?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too many.
I think it's important for like someone to lead, because otherwise, no one will lead it.
Yeah. Just to give it, and leading in the sense that, like, you try and bring the best out of people. So you try and utilise everyone's gifts and talents and enjoyment as well, so that it's not like telling people what to do, but just sort of guiding the direction, if anything, and drawing ideas and stuff out of people. And taking, I guess, when you lead as well, you've also got that responsibility that the buck sort of falls on you if things go wrong as well. So, yeah.
Did you get a lot of, let's say, Christian support for the music style that you did? So I'm thinking back when the Underground started and we were doing the gigs. There were sections of the Christian community who were saying, evil music, all that typical sort of stuff. Yeah. How did you face that type of challenge from people?
No.
Not as much.
No. I know that some
Yeah.
some of the bands did struggle with that, but I don't think we ever had a problem with that at all. We've all the Christians that we've been involved with have been quite supportive. Even not everyone's into the style that we've done, but yeah, from a spiritual point of view, people have been supportive.
I mean, I guess we were nurtured in the underground to a certain degree, because this is where we had our first gig, and we were quite involved because it's, we saw all the bands like Ceres and Think Tank and
Met people,
Embodiment and Jemima and all these bands that played.
Sorry if we've forgotten anyone, because it's been a while.
Like Leslie.
Leslie does, yeah.
All these bands that, we're all starting out, all young, and
Yeah.
underground was fundamental. Like,
Yeah.
I think as much, and it was essential. Like, it was definitely like somewhere where a lot of like the bands started, and then kind of.
And even
grew.
met each other, I think.
Yeah.
I reckon we met quite a few people.
We met Darren Thompson here.
Darren Thompson, yeah.
And then.
I'm sure we would have met.
Strategy.
Yeah.
And the Sure Shot sampler.
Yeah.
And that brought a lot of bands together.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 of them.
Yeah.
Also, 9 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon that was pretty fundamental as well in bringing a lot of bands together.
I reckon we met Josh, who was in EDISON. We met him here
Pretzels.
about 5-6 years before he joined EDISON. We met him here because we had some video footage from an old underground gig. We're like, that's Josh. Oh, we met him there. Yeah. So it's good. So I think it was like good because it's a place where everyone came for whatever reason, different bands and that, and you just met different people. So yeah.
How important is it to have that Christian support in the scene for you guys?
Yeah, I think
it was pretty important.
Yeah, integral. Yeah, because I guess when we started, there was no Christian scene. We didn't even know that there was any other Christian musicians out there. We were just going out to gigs and wanting to play in a band, and the concept of a Christian scene or a movement or anything was completely foreign to us. And it was only when someone put us onto the underground that we realised that there's actually other Christians out there doing bands and stuff.
So, we're still friends with.
Yeah, and they're still some of our closest friends. So yeah.
So a lot of the bands that you supported, were they essentially Christian bands, or were they secular as well?
Just a mix, yeah.
Just a mix. How did you find they reacted to you being Christian musicians? Was it blatantly obvious to them that you had these beliefs?
I think sometimes it was and sometimes it wasn't.
I think